Good morning everyone. Myself Patel ma'am from SGM College Karad. Today I am going to teach you the subject Organization of Commerce and Management for Standard 12. As we already have been started with the chapter number 3, that is Entrepreneurship Development. Entrepreneurship Development. Today we are at the end of the chapter. We have seen in the last lecture that was a recent initiative in the entrepreneurship development. That means the government how have taken a very great boost for the development of the entrepreneurs in our country, have been started the various projects like Stand Up India, Startup India and agrotourism and intrapreneurs. Okay, so Stand Up India, Startup India have been teach you in the last lecture, meaning, objectives, etc. is teach to you. We are going to see today the next 2 points, which are the recent initiative in the entrepreneurship development, which is agrotourism and intrapreneurs. Okay, entrepreneurs. Okay, this is entrepreneur, this is intrapreneur. Okay, what is that we will see today. I have started with this point in the last lecture, agrotourism. Okay, agrotourism, we have seen many points of this in the last lecture, but then to a short view I will tell you about it. What is agrotourism, also said as agri-tourism or rural tourism. All this is one and the same. You may say rural, you may say agri, or you may say agro. It's one and the same. So agrotourism have been started not only in the state of Maharashtra but in others state and in others country too. For the more and more development of the common rural part also and the urban area, like we know rural area, many people are fond of, like urban area people are very fond of to go in the rural area for the knowledge, education, for enjoyment, spending some time in the field, etc. All these things they want to do, they are very anxious to do. All these things are coming into the agrotourism. Okay, so today in this increasing mechanist world, many people have lost the touch with how their food is produced or the region where it is originated. Today in this very jet speed world which we are in highly increased modernized world, we don't know where the foods are produced or how they are going to come. We don't know anything related to farming, etc., or I will say related to agriculture. So agrotourism always offer tourists a chance to reconnect with the land and provide a hand of experience with the local foods. Okay, all activities include picking fruit, tending bees, milking cows and other educational pursuits. Common thing, like we don't know about it, how you are going to pick the fruit from the trees, or you are going to tend the bees, or you are going to milking the cows, anything we don't know about it. So it comes to connect. A hand of experience is provided with the help of agrotourism. It focuses on travel that is empowering to local communities both socially and economically. Recognizing the need to diversify their farm products and supplement their agriculture incomes, many farmers consider agri-tourism as one of the income option for the long-term sustainability for the firm. Today, like farmers also, they should be economically sound. To them also it's a helping hand only, because commonly every time they are not in related with the agriculture. Okay, after that when they have some time they are always in the need of money. To them also it's a helping hand. And always agrotourism support agricultural economy when local producer can no longer compete economically. That is related to the meaning. A definition is put forth by Thomas Jefferson. He says that the small landlorder are the most precious part of a state. Of course, yes, as agriculture plays a very important role in our state of Maharashtra, in other state also. Actually in whole India only agriculture plays a very important role, and as a part of small landholder who is the most precious part of the state, everyone should know about it. Okay, then again definition is given. Agri-tourism is the idea of bringing urban resident to the rural area for leisure travel and for spending a good time. Of course, yes, urban area people should also know about the rural area, how the local food they are getting, like grains or vegetables, different types of fruits, how they are getting from the rural area, they should also know. So they travel, they come to know everything, various activities they do, that they can spend their time also in the field. Okay, one more definition is given. Agritourism is a commercial enterprise at a working farm, ranch or agricultural plant conducted for the enjoyment of visitors that generate supplement income for the owner. That is also true in the some part. We have to know that how farmers are doing various type of thing. To them also generation of income should be there. So for that these things are there. So that was a definition. Then the next point is agrotourism in Maharashtra. Now Maharashtra plays a very important pioneer state that have developed and promote agrotourism in the whole country. Yes, in the state, we are very lucky we are living in the state of Maharashtra, and in our Maharashtra state we know that agrotourism plays such an important role. They have been considered as a pioneer state. Okay. Agrotourism, or you may say tourism, as it is defined most broadly, involves any agricultural based operation or activity that brings visitor to a farm. Anything, like it may be a visit to the farm, so you come to know various things. Agritourism is a form of a niche tourism that is considered a growth industries in many parts of the world, including India, Australia, Canada, United States, Philippines. All these things are, all these other countries also have been playing a very important role, who have been developed more and more the agrotourism. Besides growing and selling product, there are many other important aspects to managing a farm business. Business planning, finding land, managing employees, record keeping, adhering to the regulations, ensuring crop, preparing for the rainy day, and retirement of all under the heading of a farm management. So farm management is also not is a very easy task. Everything you have to do. How you do common work also, just like that here also in the farm management, starting from the planning, how to do, finding out land, plowing the land, mowing the seeds, waiting for the rainfall, etc., etc. Many things are done, ensuring crops. All these things are under the farm management. So the next point which we have seen, that was agrotourism in Maharashtra. Maharashtra plays a very important and as a pioneer state who have developed more and more part of the agrotourism or agritourism. Not only Maharashtra, some many other states also we have, but Maharashtra playing a very important role, and other countries also are playing a very important role, like Philippines, they said India, Australia, Canada, US, etc. The last point in the agrotourism is activities in agrotourism. What activities are done? We will see in the agrotourism. Agrotourism and nature tourism enterprises might include this thing. So when you think about the nature tourism, that is, and agrotourism is one and the same, because agritourism is bringing you toward your nature only. Okay, yes or no, where open every land is there, sky is there, rainfall will be there, everything will be there, like for the nature oriented part only. So agri and nature tourism include this. First is said as outdoor recreation like trekking, fishing, hunting, wildlife study, horseback riding, etc. Educational experience like farming experiences like rice plantation, cooking experience on chula, etc. All these things are there. Then entertainment, like they have given like Huda Party in Maharashtra is very famous. Different type of harvest festivals are there. Hospitality services like guided tours or outfitter services or living in the farm. Yes or no is also this activities. On farm direct sales like to pick up operations on roadside stand. That means what? A nearby road, if some trees are there, then you can pick up the fruits, etc. Also include these things. Okay. Happy customer will definitely return back to the field where they have been gone. They will also tell their friends and family about the firm. Farmers can add value to their guest experiences by offering them refreshment. Yes or no? To make it more good, to make it more beneficial, to make it more attractive, various types of things are also provided by farmer, like they give various types of refreshment, etc., which is very likely to the common customer. They can select product that complement what they produce on farm, such as milk, butter sample, fresh fruit or fresh fruit juices, etc. With time and creativity, farmers can spend their recreational enterprise through fun, entertaining activities such as contest, adult and children's classes or games. Children love straw maze, pumpkin painting and scarecrow making. Adults may enjoy historical display or classes or various types of painting. See, whatever you want to do, you can do. Various types of activities you can do over there in the farm, near about the farm, etc. But here farmers also plays a very important role. They also think about the customer, because customer should come back again. Commonly, those who have come as a customer, as a form of a tourist, they should also come back again to the field. Okay, so we have to keep there also liking, etc. That is what agro-tourism. You may also say rural tourism, agri-tourism, etc. Got it, everyone? That was the recent initiative related to agro-tourism. And the last is entrepreneurs. Entrepreneurs are what? That is entrepreneur. This is intrapreneurs. Okay, entrepreneurs are what? You all know very well, yes or no? That is a person or an organizer, where he works is an enterprise. What process or activity he do is said as entrepreneurship. Now today we will see, this is the end of the chapter number 3 related to intrapreneurs. Okay, an entrepreneur is an employee who has the authority and support of his company employer to implement his own creative and innovative idea. Now, who is entrepreneur? Entrepreneur is a person only. Like entrepreneur is also a person. Just like that, entrepreneur is an employee who has the authority. Who has what? He has the authority and support of his company to implement his own idea, creativity, innovativeness, etc. His idea or product may or may not earn immediate revenue for the company, still the employee keep receiving his salary. Now actually I'll give you one small example. In a very big companies, like these entrepreneurs are appointed. What they do, what they actually work is, they'll tell you in a common language. Actually they do what? They always see update of the market. What customer liking is there, on that basis they always try to produce or make such an innovative creative idea they give to the company related to any product, goods or services. Are you getting? Okay, immediately benefit will not be there, but then too they will get the benefit after some time. Okay, so entrepreneurs are always appointed by the company, or you may say the employer. Why? To give various type of innovative creative ideas to the company related to any product, goods or services. They always get the salary. Rather, if they suggest something that is implemented into the market, but that doesn't work, then too they will get the salary, because they are always bringing some more new ideas or creativity. Okay, still the employee keep receiving his salary. So the main difference between the intrapreneur and entrepreneur is that the latter take financial risk, while the entrepreneur does not have to invest any capital from his pocket. Yes or no? Of course, entrepreneur always bear a risk. Entrepreneur is also innovator. Intrapreneurs are also is an innovator. But the thing is what? Entrepreneur is always what? He is a boss. Intrapreneur is not a boss. He always work under the boss. So that's why he has to not to invest anything, no risk, etc. Like entrepreneur is having always a risk. He has to invest a capital, etc. So this is a very big difference between intrapreneur and entrepreneur. Okay, the company provide infrastructure. Many large organizations have dedicated research and development department where employees are encouraged to use their creative abilities. Yes, of course, as I said you now only, when very big companies are there, they have appointed entrepreneurs like this. Why? Because they always bring some more new creative ideas which is different from other, and that always boost for the development of the product into the market, etc. Yes or no? So research and development programs are always being initiated by the various types of the company, those who have appointed entrepreneurs. Okay, many large organizations have dedicated research and development department. Such an idea or innovative product may fetch great profit for the organization. Examples are given like Kinetic India, Tata Motors, Infosys Technologies, etc. are some of the such companies who encourage entrepreneurship. Are you getting? Yes, of course, that here many companies are there, like one example I will give you. First we will see the definition. It is given by Gifford Pinchot Ill. He said, entrepreneur are the dreamers who take hands-on responsibility for creating innovation of any kind within the business. As I said you, always entrepreneur always work under the employer, work under the boss, and his work is what? Always to make something innovative, creative. You have to bring some ideas that is going to bring profit into the market for his boss. Okay, according to Hisrich and Peter, entrepreneurship is the entrepreneurship within an existing organization. That's also true. Okay, so various big examples are given. First example is giving like about the Kinetic India. Kinetic India have been started a very research. Kinetic India entrepreneur, those who may be appointed by the boss of Kinetic, have been started in your vehicle charging. Yes or no? Vehicle charging, that is that like the idea of having mobile charger in the bike has came from what? From the employee of Kinetic India. Are you getting? Then Tata Sumo, one of the passenger vehicle of Tata Motors, who named after Padma Bhushan Mr. Suman Manglekar, architect of Tata Motors, as a tribute for his contribution to the company. He was also an entrepreneur. Then the like button on Facebook was a brainchild of an employee of a Facebook. Now Facebook employee have started this like button. Okay, the company provide a platform for its engineers and coders to co-create and develop innovative idea. Sony PlayStation was created by the junior member of one of the staff of the Sony Corporation. Like this one of the employees or various employees are appointed as entrepreneur in the company only, who always bring new ideas, creative idea that always bring profit to the organization only. So entrepreneur, a very big difference is there. Entrepreneur is the boss. He invests his capital. He always bear risk. Entrepreneur is not a boss. He work under the boss. He never invest capital. He gets a common salary always, and he doesn't bear the risk also. But he is always playing a very challenging role because he contributes to the research and development of the various organizations that always bring profit by introducing new idea, creative idea into the market. Got it everyone? Yes or no? That was it. That was about the chapter number 3, which was what? The last 2 points which I teach to you. That was agro-tourism, agri-tourism, rural tourism, one and the same, and the entrepreneur. And I said you the difference also between entrepreneur and entrepreneur. Got it everyone? That was a very big chapter. In this chapter we come to know from the starting point that was related to entrepreneur. Yes or no? Meaning, definition, history, concept. Then we have seen characteristic of entrepreneur, qualities of a successful entrepreneur, functions of an entrepreneur, entrepreneurship development, characteristics of entrepreneurship. Then we have seen process of entrepreneurship development like training, EDP programs, recent initiative that was related to Startup India, Stand Up India, agro-tourism. Okay, and the last point was which you all have seen, that was entrepreneurship. Got it everyone? That was your all about chapter number 3, entrepreneurship development. Okay, the next chapter for you is the business services. Business services is what I will give you a short review, and we will start with a new chapter today itself, so we can go afterwards into detail for it. Okay. Okay, the chapter number 4 for you is the business services. chapter number 4, business services. First we will go with introduction. Then we will go with the meaning, and further we will see. Okay, now what is business services? We will see over here. Now various types of services are there that are related into the business. But what is exactly business services? So in the introduction it is said services are intangible in nature. Tangible means what? Tangible means which you can touch, which you can see. Intangible means what? Which you cannot touch, which you cannot see, only you can feel it. So it is said that services are intangible in nature. They are neither manufactured, transported nor stored. It cannot be stored for the future, hence they are produced and consumed simultaneously. Sorry. So always it is said that services are what? Services cannot be stocked. Okay, it cannot be transported, it cannot be manufactured, but services are always produced and consumed simultaneously. Okay, so services are said as intangible. They are neither manufactured, transported nor stored. You cannot stock or store for the future. Services are, you cannot stock, but you can consume it, you can produce it and consume it in a simultaneously way. Got it? That was introduction. In the meaning it is said, sometimes services are very difficult to identify because they are closely associated with goods. No transfer or possession or ownership take place when services are sold, and they cannot be stored or transported. Services are instantly perishable and they come into existence at the time they are bought and consumed. What it is said, services are what? Services are intangible, which you cannot see, you cannot stock, you can only consume and produce in a common simultaneously way. So it is very difficult to identify because they are what? Closely related with the good. So you cannot identify the service immediately. No transfer is there, no possession is there. Ownership take place when services are sold. Of course, yes, today if I am having the car, tomorrow I sold to that person is having the ownership now. Yesterday I sold it, and then this person is having the possession. So when it is sold, ownership immediately transferred to the another person, and they cannot be stored as well as transported. So instantly perishable, and they come into existence at the time they are bought and consumed. It is said that services are perishable in nature. Perishable, you understand? Immediately it is going to spoil out. Okay, you cannot stock, you cannot store it, but you can bring and you can sold it. That was the meaning of the business services. Okay, business services are perishable in nature. Always remember, they are intangible in nature. Okay, then the definition is given. Two definitions is given. The first is given by Philip Kotler. First is given by Philip Kotler. And the second definition is provided by American Marketing Association. Okay, what Philip Kotler say related to business services? Philip Kotler say a service is an act of performance that one party can offer to another that is essentially intangible and does not result in the ownership of anything. Its production may or may not be tied to a physical product. Yes, it is said correctly. What Philip Kotler say, service is an act of performance that one party offer to the another, and that is always intangible and does not result in ownership. Okay, according to American Marketing Association, activities, benefits or satisfaction which are offered for sale. This is very important. What it is said, activities, benefit or satisfaction which is offered for sale or provided in connection with the sale of good, that is said as business services. Yes, it is said correctly only. Got it, everyone? Yes or no? In this way, I have teach you last 2 points of the third chapter, and I started today with a new chapter, business services introduction meaning definition put forth by Philip Kotler and American Marketing Association. Okay, in the next lecture we will go ahead and you'll see the chapter. Enough for today. Thank you.